Check, check. Is this thing on?
Welcome to Plague and Justy in the Morning.
Season 2, Episode 1. Plague, we had to take a little bit of a break. Life got crazy.
Yeah.
So we just decided it was a natural time to end Season 1 and begin Season 2.
Yeah, no, a lot's happened in the last, 2 months?
Yeah, it has been a lot. Plague getting used to a new schedule.
Yep.
So he's been a little bit of a sleepy boy.
I'm very sleepy all the time.
Me and my son's doing a lot more now that he's walking.
He's Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've been real busy, but now things are starting to calm down. Everything's starting to settle a little bit. Plague, what you been up to? We haven't talked a whole lot.
Oh man, well, I suppose it seems like every single time we do one of these episodes, I have to hit you with some big news, which you already have known about for weeks, but these guys don't. So one of the main reasons why we took a break is me and the wife put an offer on a house, and our offer got accepted. We're homeowners. We're big homeowners, and so buying a house is one of the most stressful things you can do. Like next to like, I don't know, going to New York. I don't know. Like it's pretty stressful either way.
Yeah.
But so we basically been nose to the grindstone with that, basically, going through everything that we need to do. We were looking at houses for a long time, found a really nice house that we liked, got that all situated, put our offer in, it got accepted, and now we've been packing, we've been setting up utilities, all that stuff. So that's been the gist of these last 2 months or so, is all that.
Yeah.
Plus working on top of that.
Yep, exactly. It's been a lot. But for some people that are here now enjoying this with us currently on Twitch, we've decided to start live streaming the podcast.
It is a live podcast,
It's
like
a
all
live
your
event.
favorite podcasts.
Every now and again, maybe we'll have a little after action where we'll interact with people that are in the chat.
A little Q&A session.
Q&As.
You can ask me about how big my butt is. I'll let you know.
And sometimes maybe we'll even interact with the chat during the podcast and edit it out later. But you got to be here to interact.
You got to be here. Got to be
Gotta
here.
be here. Be here. Be square.
Yeah, we like squares here. Everything fits in a square hole.
Square peg in a round hole.
Oh,
But yeah, it's been a lot. We haven't really gotten to play a lot of games together recently.
No.
So,
Lots of packing.
Plague, I have been painting like a fucking madman.
Every time that you do hop on, I hear about how much you've painted. What's the tally at?
Well, so I painted 30 of like essentially this model, which is a Orc Ard Boy. Painted 30 of those. By the end of the week, I'll have painted 50 of my Cruel Boys. So that's 80. I painted 35 Orc Brutes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm really just chipping through the stuff that you need a ton of in armies, but no one wants to paint.
Yeah, it seems like you're setting up your armies for success. Why is that?
Well, because 4th edition goes on pre-order next week.
That's crazy. See, I was told that that's the worst version of D&D. No, we're
4th
not
edition
talking
Warhammer
about...
4th edition Age of Sigmar goes on pre-order next week.
Age of Sigmar! Still haven't played, but I'm gonna get into it, I promise.
Yeah, which Plague and I haven't started playing, or I haven't taught Plague how to play, because 4th edition was like, they said right around the corner during Adepticon. Which was 3 months ago. Which, actually, in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty close.
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
It's technically within the same season.
Yeah. So, once that comes out, we're going to do some crazy stuff on the pod channel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're making a table.
Oh, I can't wait. So mine and the wife's place is basically we've already been hosting two separate campaigns. We have my campaign and Ghosty's campaign. And we just kind of decided, me and Justy here, that we're both old men and want to build with our man hands. So
Mhm.
let's just build a like game table. You know, have the
Yep.
little TV in the center and everything and make it look all nice and rustic for the fantasy. And yeah, so we're basically
Yeah.
going to be doing that. And that's not only going to host both of our campaigns, but also is going to be the battlefield where I learn Age of Sigmar.
Pretty excited. Um, we're gonna crack open a fourth edition box, um, and we're gonna try to paint it in one go.
Oh yeah, we're
We're
going
gonna
to make a
we're,
day out of it.
we're gonna pre-build and prime everything, and
Hmm.
then we're just gonna paint,
Oh yeah.
and that'll be us painting in the same place.
It's gonna be so fun. We're gonna
It's gonna
spend
be
time together. I
so much time.
I don't even know what that is anymore. Like literally.
we haven't had D&D since we stopped doing the pod for season 1 either.
Yeah, no.
So like I've been going through like withdrawals.
Yeah, I have been making characters on a whim. Like while I'm just sitting in my semi driving, I'm like, oh, that'd be a cool character. Oh, an
Yeah.
ogre, an orc that is a ranger with mimics. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. I like that.
Loosely based on that character in your was that in your campaign?
No, that was in Ghosty's
Or
campaign,
yeah,
and
it was your wife's
technically was
campaign.
in your campaign. He was an NPC that started from your campaign that everyone hated.
Oh yeah.
And so Ghosty latched onto that character. Is
Yep.
it Saul?
Sal.
Sal. And he has a store called Gimmick with mimics.
It's just like a gashapon.
Oh, you don't know what you're going to get. Who knows what's going to come out? Could be a mimic. It might be a mimic.
Probably a mimic.
It's probably a mimic. Sal's a
Uh,
fucking asshole.
Yeah. So, as like the weeks have gone by, this last like 2-3 weeks, they've been like showing like what each faction's gonna kind of play like.
Mm-hmm.
One of my factions, my Iron Jaws, which are my orcs that are like all painted yellow, and they're like this shelf. Um, they're all the way they play has fundamentally changed.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be like a turn 1 smash. That's their play style. That's it.
Just go and do damage.
Go immediately. You're gonna win or lose turn 2. That's the game.
Gotcha.
But now they've taken that away a little bit. It's better for the game and better for the faction as a whole. It just kind of is like, meh. There's a lot of people online that are like, the faction's dead. Blah.
I know. I get it.
But I think it's gonna be still a lot of fun. Like I said, it's gonna be. It used to be before there was one faction to play Iron Jaws, and that was a lot of the pigs. I don't
think I've
that'll be
seen
the
those
case anymore.
models. I think I've seen those.
Yeah, because I painted them 2 years ago for Adepticon, and then they ended up being my army 2 years in a row.
Nice.
So
Is it so? I gotta ask: is the Warhammer community a lot like a bunch of anime communities and basically any fandom community, where something changes and everyone that's loud is upset?
yep,
Uh,
pretty much.
big spoiler here. I don't even think you know about this, but big spoiler coming up. If you're a fan of One Piece, and you're not caught up, just close your ears for a second. So that's happening right now as of today, because another character got Gear 5 and people are really mad about it.
Well, we're gonna talk about Star Wars Acolyte a little bit too. You're not really a huge Star Wars guy.
I'm cultured. I know Star Wars. I know
Yeah.
Spock. I know
You
Captain Kirk. I get it. No, but I've played
Uh,
the Lego Star Wars games. I'm good. I'm set.
I mean, yeah, kinda. Hey, if you go by Lego Star Wars, Darth Jar Jar is now canon.
In Acolyte?
No, in Lego Star Wars.
Oh, hell yeah. Sorry, my hair is doing a thing that I do not
I see
like.
that. That's why I wear a hat.
I was thinking of just letting it breathe. I've been letting it breathe a lot recently.
But yeah, we're big stuff coming to the channel. We're gonna do a lot of. We're gonna build a table, a little bit on stream. Probably upload it to the channel. Our steps.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Watch us
we might be,
fail.
bu- we might be building 2 tables.
Got to get you a table too.
So I might also be making a table, and then Plague can finally see my house.
It's happening. I'm writing this down. Timestamp. I need to know when this was said. I'm holding you accountable. It's been an ongoing joke that I am
it's
not
very
allowed
funny.
to see his house.
Plague is so. I've owned my house longer than I've known Plague, and he's never seen my house.
Nope.
I don't think he even has been to the outside of my house.
Haven't. I think I saw a picture of it once because one of our buddies doxed you in a Snapchat group.
Yeah. Yep.
But other than that, and I don't remember that. I don't know the number.
That's something else I want to talk about, Plague.
Oh?
Plague pseudo doxed me at a pride parade. To be clear, abundantly clear, I am an ally.
Let's go, ally.
But Plague was yelling my name at a truck full of furries, like I was on the truck.
I thought you were.
I'm not a furry. I don't know where or why. That's a thing.
So, I have a little bit to go into right when we're done with this. It's awesome that you brought this up because I didn't know where to add this. But so we both had mistakes in our past.
Ugh.
We both have not been true to ourselves, and we have put on a facade for someone else. And I get that. But you got to understand.
Like, are you about to make you're a furry?
So League of Legends released a new champion today.
Oh yes, the witch.
The little rabbit witch. And I have fucking problems.
Oh no.
I can't get her out of my mind.
Oh no.
Jesty, she is all I can think about, and I'm married. This isn't good.
I'm telling your wife.
She knows. She knows. She also loves her. My wife just called me a filthy monster fucker.
Her kit looks really cool.
It actually does look really cool.
She looks amazing. I love her.
Mhm.
But speaking of monster fuckers,
How do we have
Plague.
so many topics about this? What the fuck?
Plague.
Oh,
Verbalace did it again.
he did it again. He did
This
it
time-
again. He
this
didn't
time-
heed my warning.
This time with Roxanne, the wolf from
Wall Street.
no, Five Nights at Freddy's. That one.
Verbal Ace and Leonardo DiCaprio. OTP. Couple made
The
in
Ninja
heaven.
Turtle.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, my favorite Ninja Turtle. He did it again.
He has this weird thing with having female characters like forcing themselves on him.
Is that what? Okay, so you sent me a link to the video. I have not watched the video. Is that what happens again?
There's like a weird like he does like a dubstep or a beatbox thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's like, "You want to get out of here?" And he's like, "Yeah," and runs off, and she's like, "With me!" Ah. He
How
wants the
many
wolf to peg-
times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
He wants the wolf to peg him. That's
I get it. Because
I don't.
I want the League of Legends character to peg me. I get it. But don't make a video about it after you've been put on blast for the entire internet to see.
I really hope that your wife just slowly turned in her chair and is staring at you currently.
That is probably not even on the top 100 craziest things I've said. It probably didn't.
I know.
She didn't even fathom it. She's like, oh, yeah, he's
Speaking of
talking.
League,
He's talking.
Plague, there's been a $500 League of Legends skin
Yeah,
dropped.
let's get into it. Let's get into this is my territory here. So League of Legends, Riot Games themselves, small
Right, though.
independent company, Riot Games,
Barely scratching, barely getting by.
don't have so little money that they basically don't even have the lights on. And they decided, they had a little talk, all 4 people that work at Riot Games, because remember, small independent company. How make money? Fox Girl. People like Fox Girl. Ari. People can look at Ari and be like, "Oh, I've seen her. That's the League of Legends character." Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So people like Ari. How make money with Ari? Whales. People who dump hundreds and shut the fuck up. People who dump so much money.
Like-
Shut the fuck up.
Legs.
Is he outing you?
So much money into free to play games that they basically keep the companies afloat. We got to make the whales happy. We got to give them.
Legs put some dude's kid through college.
I have with some Riot. I have spent $14,000 on League of Legends. The total number is 14,000, and they almost got me. I'm clean. I'm clean now. Like I did not buy the $500 skin, but they decided to put out a $500 skin, a skin that you cannot get without spending $500. They had to rework their entire in-game currency model so that way people could buy $500 worth of their currency to be able to get this skin.
I think the funniest thing about all this, so I'm not like a League player. Plague will sometimes convince me that I need to play a game of League because it's different and it's changed.
And every time he has
It's
a
never-
blast.
It's never different. Nothing's ever changed. But I'll admit, I have fun most of the time.
Let's go!
The funniest part about this whole thing is the Ari ban rate after the skin got released.
So in League of Legends, for those that aren't cultured, when you play a game of League, you can choose a couple of characters that you just don't want to see.
Yep.
Like, I
Whether they
have a
like-
hard time playing against this person.
Yep. Like if you're like, oh, I'm playing Nasus, I don't really want to play against a ranged top laner.
Yep. So I'll ban
you'll-
Teemo.
Yep.
What's the ban rate at for Ari? What have they gotten it to?
5 days ago, the ban rate looks like it was at 50%.
Now, 50% ban rate in a game that is played by tens of millions of people, which means, let's say there's 1 million people playing League of Legends right now. That means 500,000 of those people banned Ari. Half of those people were like, people who spent that money don't get to play that skin. This is this is your punishment. You spent the money and you don't even get to look at it.
The worst part is she's one of my mains.
My wife just said the worst part is that she loves playing Ari. That's one of her favorite characters.
It's so funny because people are just like, you don't get to play your $500 skin.
You don't get to play it. You don't even get to
enjoy
look at
this ban, nerd.
it. Look at this little art. That's all you get. Now, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not buying the skin. I have made the decision. I have made the executive decision not to buy the $500 League of Legends skin.
That's good.
But it does add a new voice announcer, some new animations for the Rift. It adds a lot of
Oh,
stuff that
man.
no other
Oh.
skin does.
Oh, you know what game does that already and it doesn't cost $500 to do?
What?
Smite.
I'm still mad. I bought Smite 2 thinking I'd be able to play it. I can't even
Yeah,
play.
that's a bummer.
That's the thing.
I don't have anything to say about that. That's a bummer.
Okay, so I have spent the $30 to get access to Smite 2. The game's not out yet, but I saw it on Steam and I'm like, maybe I'll be able to get into the alpha. Maybe it's a $30 paywall to get into the alpha so you can play the game and test out stuff, blah blah blah.
Mm.
No, you just don't. You spent the money, you don't have it. That is one thing. At least even though they can't play it, the RE players have the skin. I don't
Yeah.
even have the game.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I can change my Smite announcer is different every single game.
Mm-hmm.
When I land in the conquest map, it plays a riff from a Beartooth song.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Don't they have Slipknot skins
Yes.
in Smite? I know they have them in Dead by Daylight, but yeah, I think I
Yeah.
remember something about
Smite's
it.
kind of become the Fortnite of MOBAs.
What a sentence. Smite has become the Fortnite of
Well,
MOBAs.
you got Ninja Turtle skins for some of the gods. You got
Avatar.
Slipknot, Avatar. Uh,
What-
it's
What's another one? I remember seeing another pretty big one. I don't know.
yeah, it doesn't super matter.
Yeah, Smite 1's dead. Smite 2 doesn't exist.
Smite 2 doesn't exist. I want to get back into Smite. I want to get back into streaming Smite, playing Smite like competitively.
He's got the itch. He's got the competitive urge.
I loved playing Smite. The issue is I don't have a team to play with anymore, and I'm just like, ugh.
Well, you got a duo.
Yeah, but you don't love Smite.
Because I don't have anyone to play with. I'm not playing a game that I'm bad at alone. I play
That's
games
fair.
I'm good at alone and then do bad in them. But yeah, no, I the $500 RE skin, it is a very sickening turn of events for Riot. As someone who has spent that money in that game, this is not for anyone. This isn't for like super
No.
exclusivity for people who put forth the money. This is, you want money, so you picked one of the most popular champions and gave him a skin that costs money.
Yep. Exactly. You didn't. That's not for your consumers.
No.
That's for the 4 or 5. Well, a ton
Mentally
of people
ill
are gonna buy it. A ton of people are gonna buy it.
And I mean mentally ill in the most like sincere way, where it's like you actually have an issue where you are addicted to spending money on online games.
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying anything negative. Like, that is an illness. I had
Yep.
the illness. I do not do that anymore, but I had it. I saw the number go up and I'm like, I almost have them all. I might as well have them all.
Yep.
So, like,
Sure did.
if they released a $500 skin for Skarner, you wouldn't be hearing anything about it. They'd be like, oh, that's weird.
No, that would be like, oh, 5 people bought it,
5 people bought it.
but it's Ari, so
People
lot
are
of
gonna
people are-
take out loans to get it.
yep. I can't fat. That's half my mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's half a month of daycare.
Well, when you put it in that perspective, that doesn't seem like a lot, but you got to remember daycare is expensive.
Oh, daycare is brutal.
It's like, oh,
Whew.
yeah, I could just not put my baby in daycare for half a month and then I can afford the Ari skin.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a logical thing to do.
That's a lot. That's how the illness starts.
Yeah, exactly. Trust me, I understand. But
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Plague, we've been watching some TV.
We have. I don't have the energy for games right now, but I do have energy to sit on my couch and do nothing but watch stuff.
Yeah, so we watched Godzilla -1.
Yes.
We
We finally
we've been having
watched a kaiju movie.
We've been having some Discord movie nights instead of playing games,
Yeah.
which allows me to paint also because I've been painting during our Discord movie nights.
That I figured because you've also already seen the movies.
Yeah. So we watched Godzilla -1, which I had not seen prior to watching it with Plague, Ghosty, and everyone's favorite e-girl Astro.
Ooh, woo.
Um, um, and it was good. I liked it a lot. It's very much a Godzilla's a horrible monster
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't like people.
I get it. I am also a horrible monster who doesn't like people.
I actually listened to a thing today from I can't even remember the YouTuber's name. If I remember it, maybe I won't.
Markiplier.
wasn't Markiplier, but it was this guy who was like, when the world ends, I hope it ends with a monster.
That would be cool.
And I'm like, you're right. That's what I hope.
So I have actually been hearing, I before we had watched it, I heard a bit of discourse about Godzilla minus one. It's a very divisive movie for people that are fans of this genre, and a lot of people seem to have issues with the fact that it's more human centric than monster centric. I liked that part. I liked
Yeah.
seeing the mental struggle of our main character and seeing all the pain that he went through and watching everyone betray. So, bit of a spoiler alert for Godzilla minus one.
Let's just throw a spoiler alert on this whole section of the pod.
This whole section of the pod, spoilers.
The
If you have
whole section,
any
because-
plans of watching any of these movies
Or
probably
shows.
or shows, probably, anyways.
I'll watch some of them come back.
Yeah. So Godzilla minus one basically follows a kamikaze pilot that chickened out at the last second and did not do his duty
Yep, and everyone's mad at him for it.
because that is an honorable death, and you have refused it. You have betrayed your country, and it's a story about striving to live, which I think is a great premise in a monster movie. Whereas
Mhm.
a lot of them really focus on the whole aspect of like big monster do big cool thing. Also love
Yeah.
that. But like watching this guy who has been broken down into nothing basically fight off single-handedly Godzilla, it's
Yeah.
dope. It's a good movie. It's a thriller.
Yeah, it's very much like it's more of a monster horror movie than the MonsterVerse movies,
Yeah.
which we watched the Godzilla movie from the MonsterVerse.
Yep.
Plague actually had seen it, despite him saying he hadn't.
That one I had seen.
Which that one is very much like a big monster do big damage.
Still good.
Still good. It's a lot of fun.
The enemies in that, what are they called?
The Mutos.
The Mutos. Super cool designs, unique to that movie and that movie alone.
Yep.
Really good designs. Also, probably the most star-studded cast of any monster movie
For no reason.
for no reason. You got, oh fuck, you got Bryan Cranston,
Who's there just to die.
who's there
That's the only reason he's there.
just to die. You got that third mean girl as the wife, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just people that you've seen in other stuff in this movie. That's weird. Usually you get a bunch of no names that are like, hey, this is my first movie. I'm doing Goo Goo Gagazilla, the 14th movie.
Yep.
But no, they both of them are good in very different ways. Both of them are very much like, one of them is more of a human side of things. One of them is more a monster side of things. One of them is definitely Japanese inspired, and one of them is how would America deal with this? And it's kind of cool seeing the two sides of the coin.
Yeah, I really like the MonsterVerse movies. There's not one that I haven't seen that I don't like. We still haven't seen Godzilla X Kong.
Nope.
We still need to get Plague caught up on a few movies.
It's true.
Maybe while we're unpacking, or I'm helping him unpack, maybe we'll watch some of the other ones.
Yeah, we'll throw it on in the background and go from there, and just, I'll probably just end up zoning out and watching it.
Because Godzilla X Kong is on Plex.
Let's go.
And I've been a good boy. Haven't watched it.
I'm so proud of you.
Despite me really wanting to.
Your self-restraint is admirable.
Thank you. I'm really struggling here. But speaking of kaijus, Plague, I don't know if you've watched Kaiju number 8 yet.
So, me and the wife have watched the first episode of Kaiju number 8.
Oh man.
You in?
I'm in. I'm all the way in.
Hell
It's funny, it's got the action you want.
The main character's relatable.
Yeah.
He's some
Main
30-year-old dude.
He's a 30-year-old dude. He's like, I tried for the Defense Force for a ton of years and never worked out, so now I just clean up the monsters. That's what I do.
I'm the I'm the mess afterwards. I'm the one that
Yep.
takes care of that.
And there's another young protagonist comes in and convinces him, and the guy's like, he's like, well, why didn't you keep trying? He's like, I just learned to give up
Mm-hmm.
because he could never pass the test.
I get
Um,
it.
But then he takes it again and he ends up passing. Um, and while he's in the hospital because they run against kaiju and they're cleaning up, and a little kaiju dragonfly thing dive bombs into his mouth, and he becomes.
I forgot about that.
There's a lot of theories about that. I'm really excited to talk about it in future pods.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like theories like he's not fully human, and that's why the dragonfly was like, "Finally, I found you."
Right into the mouth. So
Um,
I've actually I had been following Kaiju number 8's manga for a while. A lot of people have hyped up this manga before it got
Mhm.
announced as an anime, and people still follow the manga religiously. A lot of people actually do have issue with the anime due to the art style change. That was a bit of backlash.
I kind of like the art style. I think it's
No,
fun.
no, I'm the same way. I was like, wow, they look terrible. They look nothing like how they look like in the manga. And then we watched the first episode. I'm like, this works.
Yeah.
This works for the story. Like, it's not supposed to be super serious until you
No,
need it to be super serious.
and it does. I think it does that well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The vice captain of, I think there's section 3,
Mm.
is just Levi Ackerman.
Oh, what a guy. Yeah. Yeah.
um, which is really funny. Um, the world seems pretty fleshed out.
No, it is. It is.
Like the vice captain is like, "Yeah, my combat power with guns is real low. Both knives, it's real high."
Real high. And then you see him do spinning fucking slashes and all the cool stuff you want to see in an anime.
It's super cool. It's a lot of fun. I really liked it. I think season 1's done.
Yes, I think so too.
So now I just wait. Maybe I'll start because Go Go Lose Ranger's done for now.
Well, I also have been binge watching anime, and I have a couple of recommendations. One of which is an actual recommendation, two of which are Plague's nasty, naughty, fun time because I'm a
Yeah,
degenerate.
I see some of those. Yeah.
Um,
So
so,
behind the curtain here, we have like a list of things that we need to talk about,
mm-hmm,
and I I just see the names of these animes, and I'm like, I know what these animes are.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the first one I will say is one that I want everyone to watch. It's very good. Um, so me and the wife have been keeping up with and watching an anime called Windbreaker. Um, uh,
This is the only one on the list I don't know.
okay, so Windbreaker. Have you heard of Tokyo Revengers?
Yes.
So imagine that, but good and having a good plot.
Oh.
So okay, I liked Tokyo Revengers. So basically, you get a kid that comes to this town trying to be the best fighter in the world. He wants to be top dog. All I know is fighting. Everyone else has abandoned me. Everyone sucks. If I can't fight you and I can't beat you, you're not worth it to me. So he goes to this town where some of the top dogs are, and they're basically
Mhm.
all in a school that is centered around this gang. The
Mhm.
school is a gang that basically fights off other school gangs. It's very much like Yakuza meets Tokyo Revengers. Like these are bad
Sure.
guys that actually do great things. The only reason why they've banded together is to protect the town from the other schools. The people of the town, like the baker down the street, will give out free bread to the students, not out of fear, but out of the fact that hey, he saved my cat out of a tree last week. I owe him. Like these
Sure.
are good kids that know how to fucking fight, and it's
Mhm.
very much I want hands all the time. All of the fights are fantastic. The character designs are amazing. Um, there's actual depth to it. and not forced depth like Tokyo Revengers with their weird time travel plot.
Mhm.
No, it's basically you get a gang of these kids that know how to fight, and they all fight in different styles, going up against other schools and other gangs. And yeah, no, I watched it. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it. Heard nothing about it. Super good. Characters are all likable. Designs are great. Fights are exactly what you want.
Have to add it to the list.
Now, at least watch the first episode, and you'll get a good gist of
Mhm.
what to expect. But I'll have you go ahead. You were talking about Go Go Loser Ranger, so that's over now. That season 1's done.
I believe so. Yes.
How do you feel it went? Because I still have yet to get caught up on that.
I liked it. It's a lot of fun. It I feel like I say that about everything I watch on this damn podcast.
Well, because we only have good taste.
I only watch good things.
I only watch good things.
I'm kind of interested. I think it's one that I'll rewatch, and maybe next season I probably won't watch till it's dubbed.
Gotcha.
For some reason, this seems like an anime that's gonna be very, very good dubbed.
I could see that. Are any of the episodes dubbed yet?
I don't know. I haven't even looked.
Okay.
Because they're only coming out subbed.
Gotcha.
Go Go Lose Ranger was a lot of fun. I liked it a lot. I hope it keeps going at the way it's going. Finally, like, there's a point in the season where you're like, okay, so their Power Rangers are kind of dicks, but whatever. And then there's a point in the season where you're like, they're real big dicks.
So you have a bit of a theme going on here. You like it when the people who are supposed to be heroes turn out to be not that good guys.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's the concept of like, what if Superman was evil? Let's see it evil.
Well, let's
Like-
let's see it evil. Is it on the board? Hey, Superman's evil. So The Boys also came out, and you were talking to me about The Boys fourth season.
This season is so goddamn good.
It's only 3 episodes in, right?
4 episodes,
Ooh.
and I want to talk about it, but I know you watch it,
Yep, I do watch The Boys.
and Plague hasn't watched like any of season 3.
No.
Hey, we're on season 4.
Yeah, I know. Listen, things have been happening, and this one I can say, hour-long episodes with 20 episodes a season. That is still a lot. Or 10 episodes a season.
Yeah, it's like I want to talk about it because this last episode, we already kind of were seeing it in previous seasons where Homelander's snapping, but he really snaps in this episode.
Oh, like he loses it?
Yeah.
Like the facade is down where he's not trying to be the cool guy?
He still is. It's hard to explain without giving away spoilers.
So, I've seen a post. I don't know who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was a TikTok. Someone explained that men who find Homelander to be this alpha male are men that want to be pegged, because the entire show shows Homelander as a bottom bitch who wants his mom. So I've kind of kept up. I've seen stuff like that.
I don't think Homelander's a alpha, just for the record. All right.
The guy suckles breast milk.
Yeah, but however, he's such a good villain.
He's a good villain. Great villain. I've seen some of the stuff. I have seen some spoilers from, I want to say, season 3. What a good villain.
I actually think The Boys as a show, and it's actually a very popular opinion. I'm not giving a hot take here. The show is better than the graphic novel.
Yeah.
So if you're watching The Boys and you really like it, and you're like, maybe I'll check out the graphic novel.
Don't. I've heard the same thing. I've heard that the graphic novel leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it's in theory, it's fun. Like, in a way, it's like, yeah, superheroes are evil, but The Boys, you actually get to, the show, you get to actually experience What If Homelander was fucking crazy.
And yeah, you really get to see that. I have heard that the actual graphic novel kind of doesn't have a cohesive pace.
No, it doesn't.
Things
It's
just kind of happen from
Yep.
issue to issue. Whereas this, you're following a story and you're seeing things happen in real time. Like
Yep,
you're
things are
watching
developing.
Homelander go crazy slowly over time. Like
Yep.
I still think the end of season 1 is one of the best episodes in television, where you see him like, oh, you don't think I'm gonna do, again, spoilers, because like we've said, spoilers, when he fucking incinerates his mother figure's face just to
Yeah.
prove a point.
Yeah.
What a good villain.
Yep.
Genuinely. What is her
It's-
name? Madeline?
Yep.
Yeah.
His lasers are.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it's really good. I do like The Boys a lot.
yeah, it's so goddamn good. And this last season is so good. And I don't know if you watched the spin-off show that was like The College.
Oh, I
Uh,
haven't watched that, but I've heard of it.
But there's a spin-off show that's on a college, and it actually gets brought up in this episode.
Oh, it's
Which is really
canon.
cool. Yeah, yeah, it is. It was canon from the start.
Okay, good.
So that's it's really cool. I really like when shows that have spin-offs like mention it in the main show. They're like, yes, this is a thing.
I get it. Yeah, no,
Um,
that is good.
It's the season's really good. I like it a lot. There's like a lot of political undertones in this season.
There was also a lot in season 3 from what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, which I don't necessarily love. I understand why it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not watching a show about evil superheroes to get into politics.
Right. I mean,
Watch
I
me
will
fill it.
say, if you were going to throw politics in, who better to tie it to than Homelander,
Yeah,
the guy who's all about the land of the free and the home of the brave,
yeah,
and the home of the breast milk.
yeah. Like I said, I understand why it's there, but I'm just like, oh, man, I just
You know, I'm gonna let you spoil me on something. Who is? So I've heard of a character called Soldier Boy,
Yep.
and it's not the guy that made the bad crunk songs in the 2000s. It's not the guy that. It's not the guy that made the handheld scam like 2 years ago. Who is Soldier Boy?
Soldier Boy is like the original Homelander
Original big face of the
of Vought. Yep.
Nice. Okay. Because I keep seeing him, and I know that it's the guy from Supernatural. I'm like,
Yep.
why do I keep
Jensen
seeing
Ackles.
this guy?
He gets frozen in a Russian camp, and then the boys go thaw him out to fight Homelander.
Does he stand a chance? It's probably on Amazon
On paper, on paper, yes, absolutely.
On paper, he could.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because so from what I've seen, a couple of scenes of him, it just seems super interesting. I'm
Yeah, and
really
his-
interested in his character.
His character of Soldier Boy is much better than the character Soldier Boy in the comics.
Interesting.
Because in the graphic novel, comic, whichever, he's like I'm scared all the time. I piss my pants. Da 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 da. Da.
Okay. Interesting.
But this Soldier Boy is like, I'm a Vietnam vet. I like to get high. I'm just gruff, and he's the American man of that era.
Okay. Yeah, so like Vietnam era, like kind of a hippie, kind of a I am going to wear an American flag bandana and
Yep.
scream Leonard Skinner.
Yep.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yep. He's a really good character.
I have seen the cover of the Boys graphic novel, which again, one of the reasons why you just shouldn't even bother. He's on the cover, Soldier Boy is pissing his pants.
Yeah.
That makes me really like your character.
Yeah. Yeah. And in I think A Train as a character is a lot deeper in the show. he's not just kind of like a side character that doesn't really matter.
I mean, he's kind of the driving force for the whole thing, technically.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that also gets brought up in this episode.
They're
episode
still
4.
on it.
Yep.
Good. I was really hoping. So I hate when the big thing that happens in the first season or whatever. Oh, well, now that's little stuff. We don't even bring that up anymore because that's so long ago. You don't even care about that anymore. The guy's girlfriend got obliterated.
Yeah.
That's the whole driving force of our main character.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yeah, I guess
Billy
it's rough.
Butcher, such a good character.
He is a good character. He's
I
a
like
really
Billy.
good character. You'll like this season then.
Cool. Hell yeah. So much more to watch. Speaking of which, let's so I have to be honest here. I'm a bit of a degenerate when it comes to anime. I like sappy romance stuff. I like kind of slice of life as well. But this one, it you might like. This one's a maybe. So Mission Yozakura Family is something that I've kind of been watching off and on. It's definitely degeneracy, but the first episode does things that 99% of anime don't. In episode 1, the main character gets the girl to marry him. That doesn't happen often, especially in these degen anime. So here's a bit of the premise. Our main character has been friends with a girl basically his entire life. But it turns out that said girl is the headmaster for a family of assassins.
Okay.
Well, someone puts a hit out on the girl. And so the family can no longer look past their friendship because he is now enemy number 1, like prime suspect. So her oldest brother, who is like a mix between Black Butler and fucking Byakuya from Bleach. Like, I don't know how to convey that point. But the big brother basically comes and tries to kill him the entirety of the first episode. But there's a catch. Members of the Yozakura family cannot kill each other. So the only way to save his life and not make him a suspect anymore is if him and the girl get married. So they get married in the first episode. There's actual feelings there, which, helps. It's not just like oh, fuck, we're doing this out of desperation, but I actually hate you. And then they spend the entire anime bickering, and then at the end they love each other, blah, blah, blah. No, there's a good relationship there from the very beginning. And it's just them exploring that relationship while he also gets trained up to be a spy assassin mastermind. And then all of a sudden, I don't remember what episode it is.
It's like episode 8.
Yeah, it's like episode 8. Ghosty knows exactly what I'm talking about. This funny little haha cute romance assassin thriller gets really dark. Like incredibly dark. Like some of the best dark storytelling I've seen in anime in a long time. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know if it hit me harder because I wasn't expecting it or if it actually is that good. But if you're kind of into it, if you watch episode 1 and you're like, I can keep going, try to get to episode 8. I know we have a 3 episode rule here. I think the first 3 episodes are fine. I think they're good.
That's why slice of life animes always or never tickle my fancy.
Yep.
Because Blake and I have talked a lot about the 3 episode rule. In slice of life animes, you typically don't make it past that.
Nothing happens those first 3 episodes.
So I'm just like, I don't want to watch this,
I get it.
Slice of life animes just don't tickle my fancy. I don't have the dedication to them.
I completely get that. But maybe my most degenerate pick of all will carry some weight here.
Is Delicious in Dungeon?
No. So back when the pandemic first hit, I started watching a little anime that was getting a lot of rave reviews for its animation style called Jobless Reincarnation.
Yep.
Have you heard?
I've actually seen Jobless Reincarnation.
Oh, good. then here we go. So I watched the first 2 episodes when the pandemic first hit, and I'm like, wow, this is really good, but I'm not in the mood for an isekai
Yep.
because everything was an isekai.
Yep.
And so I was like, this is good. Maybe I'll come back to it someday.
Yep.
And then I got a little TikTok about one of the main female love interests basically telling our main character to go ahead and start a harem.
Mm-hmm.
Little fact about Plague here. I fucking love harem anime.
Fucking damn it.
And so that gave me the inspiration to start watching again. And god fucking damn is it good. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. Oh my god. Like, not
So-
animation alone.
Yeah, so I said earlier I don't really care for slice of life animes. I too enjoy isekai every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's not my thing. I more like my shonens. I'm not into like romance animes.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and again, a Rosario vampire pops up.
Yep.
A jobless reincarnation pops
That's
up.
what I'm thinking. It's just like Rosario Vampire.
Rosario Vampire is like my crown jewel of isekai animes. Just because I like the characters in that. But Jobless Reincarnation's real good.
I think so. It's hitting me very different because we binge watched it. We are
Mhm.
now caught up to the most recent because season 2 part 2 is currently airing.
Yep.
And we just got caught up this week. I don't know if it's hitting different because of the fact that we binged it or what, but again, as someone whose favorite anime of all time is an anime about a kid that dates 32 schoolgirls at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
but these girls are the best girls. You know how everyone has like this is the best girl in anime, and these 3 are them. All 3 of them are the best girl.
Plague's gonna have a game in his Discord server where it's just collecting waifus.
We already had that. We already did all that. we have all the waifus in that. We did that for over a year.
One of the Warhammer Discords I'm in also has been doing that for a long time.
Yeah. Me, Ghosty, and Astro basically started that up, and we started collecting. And it has not been touched in a year because everyone you want to get, we got.
Mhm.
So like Ghosty has her favorite characters, I have my favorite characters, Astro theirs, so on and so forth. Again, so like the first couple, I like the degeneracy. I like the fact that this 40-year-old pervert basically gets put into a kid's body. I didn't like the way I said that.
I didn't either.
So
Edit that out in post.
that's a treat for you live viewers. Let me rephrase that. So this is an isekai.
Treat for you.
A little treat. This is a story about reincarnation. A guy dies in the real world, and he died sad, alone, miserable, just pathetic. And he gets reborn into a fantasy world. However, he keeps all of his memories. He keeps his attitude, his personality, everything. He's like, hey, this is the fresh start that I want. However, he is a 40-year-old internet fucking degenerate. So as he's growing up, he has a 40-year-old man brain inside of him. And there's a couple of episodes where he's like, yeah, I'm going to watch my dad fuck my mom. Fuck yeah, that's what I want to see. And it's like, that's the degeneracy I like. I'm like, oh fuck, you can't see that anywhere else, so I'm gonna watch it here.
God.
And yeah, no, the girls are really good. It is technically a harem anime. It's just when the action comes, it hits, and it's animated beautifully. And yeah, no, it's been all I can think about for like the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. There were times where I would come home, I would look at my wife and be like, I don't want to play anything. Can we just keep watching? Please, let me just keep watching Jobless
Yeah, I've noticed.
Reincarnation. I'm sorry. Long, hot days. It's very humid in a truck.
It sure is.
But yeah, so if you are at all interested in a very good isekai story or some of the filthiest degen shit you've ever seen, check out Jobless Reincarnation. I think it's great. Do you have any other recommendation? 'Cause we've been going on for a second. I only have one
Yeah.
more.
I actually don't have any more Plague.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with a bit of a shocker here. So,
ahead.
Delicious in Dungeon has
Yep.
been a very popular anime that came out on
Sure
Netflix
has.
recently. You see it all over the place. If you're a fan of D&D, you've probably seen it. If you're a fan of anime, you've probably seen it. It's okay.
I have not watched it. I don't have Netflix anymore because Netflix is
Too expensive.
it's too expensive and you can't share accounts anymore.
Yeah.
So
And honestly,
don't-
we could do a bit of high seas adventures
yeah,
on our
maybe.
pirate ship.
I don't, it's one of those things like nothing I've seen of the anime has intrigued me enough to care. I like the character design of the dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think his character design's hilarious.
Yeah. It's really just big ears.
Yeah.
Ye-
But I haven't seen anything that I'm like, I need to watch this anime. It's not like Cyberpunk.
Yeah. I can kind of boil it down for you. We're about 12 episodes in, and I'm only fighting for one scene and one scene only, and it's like on episode 20. But I wanted to watch it because, again, it kind of checks all the boxes. It's an anime that's made by Studio Trigger
Mm-hmm.
that is about basically D&D
Mhm.
and food. But every episode kind of devolves into I'm the main character and wow, I have a hard-on for the idea of eating these monsters. Well, let's meet this little guy. Oh, this guy actually lives in the dungeon and he knows how to cook and prepare all these monsters. And so each episode is wow, I didn't know you could eat a kelpie. Wow, I didn't know you could eat a parasite. Wow, I didn't know you could eat mushrooms, fungi dudes. And it's very repetitive. It's
Yeah.
animated good. The character designs are pretty good.
Yep.
It's a Trigger anime. So
Yep.
you get that flavor there.
Yep.
But-
Flavor.
It's okay.
But Trigger's
Yeah.
limited to
My-
what it's got. If it's got a manga that's not the best and they're just animating it, it's not like an original series of theirs. There's only so much you can do.
If you guys weren't able to hear my wife, I'll paraphrase for you. She basically said Trigger, fantastic studio. If their source material is only okay to begin with, they can only do so much. Whereas if they're given full freedom to make their own thing, usually it's fantastic.
Yep.
And it is good. It's holding my attention. But
Mhm.
it's not a Jobless Reincarnation. It's not a Windbreakers. And
It's
honestly,
not a Goblin Slayer.
it's not a Goblin Slayer, which
But see, if you're gonna watch a D&D anime, I think just like the grit of
Mhm.
Goblin Slayer. Once you get past episode one,
the first episode that leaves a lot
Skip
to be
it.
desired. Just
we've
skip
talked
it.
about this before. Skip the first episode.
Skip the first episode. We tell you about the 3-episode rule. Goblin Slayer gets a
Skip
one
the first
episode rule.
please.
Just skip the first episode.
Skip episode one, and then it's basically a D&D campaign after that.
Yep, and then it's a happy fun time. Good. And then that first episode you never have to think about. Never gets brought up again. So, awesome.
It kind of does like an episode like 8, but
But then you'll get the context from episode 8, and you don't have to watch episode 1 at all then.
yep.
But no, Delicious in Dungeon, maybe in 5 more episodes it'll really pull me. But like I said, I'm waiting for one scene. I've seen a scene of a harpy that I want to see all the context for. Harpies are some of my favorite, like, mythological fantasy monsters.
Mhm.
And so I want to see that scene in context to make a full decision. But
Yeah.
as of right now, 8 episodes in, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's not offensive, but it's definitely very repetitive.
It's not gonna make you want to go back and rewatch it.
Yes, I would be more than happy to not rewatch any of these episodes. And that's okay. Sometimes there are anime like that.
Yeah. Oh, I have something I forgot I needed to talk about.
Oh?
Star Wars: The Acolyte.
Okay, so
This
I know
piece of
nothing.
shit.
shit.
This piece of shit,
Shit.
not even anime, piece of shit show. Ooh. So let me lay the groundwork for you. So in episode 1, 2, 3, we get taught Anakin's special because he was made with the Force.
Yep.
He doesn't have a dad. He was made with the Force, and that's what makes him special.
Yep.
Episode 3 of The Acolyte, we are told there's this coven of unnamed witches that there are no men, and they make babies with the Force, but they don't have the Force, but they use the Force to make babies.
I'm trying to follow
Okay,
along
so
here.
Anakin's not special anymore. Because now this coven of witches that's unnamed can just make them.
This gaggle of bitches
It's,
can just do it.
there's some people that are like, oh, lesbians in Star Wars. Bleh. I don't care about that. What I care about, if they would said, oh, they use some rituals and stuff, that immediately negates that.
Okay.
But it specifically mentions that they use the Force to make children.
Which is the
Twins.
only reason.
They made twins.
Which is the main reason why Anakin was special.
Yes. So
I like Anakin.
Anakin's a great character. But they just went, no, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. But we kind of went on about that. Now it's episode 4. And God fucking damn it.
Did it get you back?
No.
Oh no.
So the Jedi Master Ki-Adi-Mundi.
I've
This
heard
is
that
like
name.
this is the big, he's got the cone head.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there was a book that's technically not canon because it's legends, but it mentions that his race only lives 50 years. The Acolyte takes place 100 years before episode 1.
Oh no. Guess who's there?
Not child Ki-Adi-Mundi, not Padawan Ki-Adi-Mundi. Jedi Master Ki-Adi-Mundi.
The guy.
Not even Jedi Knight Ki-Adi-Mundi.
I'm starting to think that Star Wars fans that get the opportunity to make things don't care about Star Wars.
Well, it's not even Star Wars fans. Like one of the actors, like, oh, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. But you can't help but think when Anakin blew up the Death Star, that a lot of people died. And everyone's like, maybe he misspoke. But then he said it again.
I haven't watched any of the movies, and even I know it's Luke.
Everyone knows it's Luke.
Not this guy. And he's the one that's in Star Wars now. That could have been you.
Could have been. Yeah, fat Jedi. Yeah. But yeah, Ki-Adi-Mundi's there, and they're like keeping it a secret that the Sith is around. And Ki-Adi-Mundi in one of the later episode 2 mentions he's like, the Sith have been dead for a millennia, but you've seen a Sith 100 years ago when you were apparently alive.
Yeah.
And like him being alive, you can kind of hand wave that and be like, oh, it's because he's sensitive to the Force, so that makes his species live longer. Sure, that's fine. But you're telling me that this rat that is Ki-Adi-Mundi didn't go tell Yoda like, oh, Yoda, what's Sith about? He just was like, we got to keep this secret.
Yes. The antagonists are real. I'm gonna keep that to myself. That's fine.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's like, just stop making Star Wars if you don't know how to. Leave my space opera alone.
I will say that as someone who is not a big Star Wars fan, the only side content that did pull me in was Mandalorian.
Yep.
I think Mandalorian was done fantastically. I haven't watched season 2. I will say that. I've only watched season 1. I think season 1, pretty cool. It got my interest. Did I lose you?
Nope, I'm still here.
Okay, gotcha. You had a look on your face like you couldn't hear me, and I'm like, uh-oh.
No. My brother's texting me here in the background.
Ah, gotcha. But yeah, no, I genuinely think that The Mandalorian, from what I've heard, did a good job. You know, it kind of followed the lore, kind of changed some things that people were like, eh. But
Yeah.
you know, it was a good watch. It was a fun watch.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal did great. Giancarlo Esposito did fantastic as what's his name? Fuck. The guy with the dark saber.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. Also, what a good name. I think that's one of the best fantasy names I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's a good
Real
name.
good.
It reminds me of like Mos Def, the rapper. Anyways,
So a little bit of gaming that we have been doing together, Plague. We've been playing a game that's kind of been creating a stir
a stir.
amongst the first-person shooter community.
Ah, yes.
X Defiant.
X Defiant, baby.
I have some opinions, but I want to hear your opinion first.
Oh,
A lot of people are saying online this is a COD killer.
current COD, yeah. However, I will say, I've already kind of fallen off of X Defiant. One, because I'm getting a house, so that's kind of priority number one. But, you know, I've played about 20-25 hours of X Defiant at this point, and I've seen it all.
Yep.
I know that I'm going to go in, get headshot by attack 50, and then just rinse repeat.
Yep.
There's
Here, let
not a lot.
me show you viewers what the gameplay loop of X Defiant is. Hang on.
Yeah, show me. That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. I like that. That was good.
That's the entire gameplay loop.
Yep.
That's it. I do not think it is a COD killer. It's the devs said, "Oh, our gunplay is so good." Blah. The gunplay is very good.
Yeah. The guns do feel good. All 6 of them.
Yep. I haven't played 25 hours, but I played 15, and I've seen everything.
Yeah. You know, I think that this is an issue that's been becoming more and more apparent with a lot of these live service free to play games. Because do keep in mind, X Defiant, even though it's made by Ubisoft, it is free.
I listened to kind of in the background while I was working the other day, a Angry Joe rant about it, and he made the comment, "So is a dead pigeon in the gutter, but you're not gonna pick that up, are you?"
It's a good point.
Um,
You should still make a quality product, even if you are giving it away for free.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in playing the game. I had my fun with it. You know, if I have the thing is, I can't jump into a team deathmatch
Mm-hmm.
and play a team deathmatch in 20 minutes.
Turn your brain off and just go.
It's all objective based shooters, and frankly, Overwatch does it better.
Yeah. And that game is super dead. Did you
Yeah.
hear about the news for that, by the way?
No.
So, I don't play Overwatch anymore. I played it for a bit back in like 2018. However, I will say, as someone who has spent a lot of money in a free-to-play game, Overwatch made the decision to take away everyone's skins.
Oh.
Take them away. And now buy them again. Uh-huh. I couldn't believe it. When I heard it, I genuinely could not believe it.
So we'll revisit this. Smite did a similar thing, going from Smite 1 to Smite 2. But every gem you have bought in Smite 1, you'll have in Smite 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little nervous to log into Smite 2.
I don't think that's the case with Overwatch.
I don't think it was either, because they didn't change. And the reason it's that way, because some of the skins will not transfer over to Smite 2.
Mm-hmm.
coding wise, they just won't transfer.
Because it's a completely different engine, right?
It's like because the Unreal Engine 3 is what Smite's on, and
Mm.
now Smite 2 is on like what's it on 7?
I think it's 5, but yeah, no. 10 plus years of advancement.
Yeah, whichever Unreal Engine is currently out. I don't follow it that close because I don't.
You play the games.
I'm a bad IT guy / PC gamer. I don't care.
I don't need to know exactly the software.
I don't care.
But there's 10 years worth of updates basically between 3 and 5.
Yep.
So, yeah, that makes sense. And, you know, they are actually offering you something for that. They're like, hey,
Yep.
every gem you spent, you get back. And even if it's half the gems,
Yeah.
you know,
So
you're getting it
that's
back.
how it works. That's how it works. It basically is half the gems. You get all your gems, but you use them to pay up to 50% off on skins.
Not bad. That's a pretty good deal because, like, I think we said this in another podcast. I've made some decisions. If I had a limited amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely kind of be like, okay, you know, I bought that skin and I never use it. I would like to, you know, use that for this other one.
Yeah.
And they're giving you the option to do that. Like, hey, fresh start, you have your money back. Pick the skins you actually want. Tastes change over the years.
Yep.
So, yeah, pick the ones you actually want. And I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
They're not doing that with Overwatch. They just took them. Buy them again.
That's gotta make you nervous as a person that's spent a significant amount of money on
Mm-hmm.
skins.
It's
That one
not a
company,
good feeling.
one company, Blizzard,
Mm-hmm.
decided, haha, yoink.
So from what I'm understanding, and I correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong here. From what I'm understanding, the reason why they're doing this is because they are now releasing every skin as a buyable skin, which has also caused issues because just like with League, just like with Fortnite, just like with any game that has account based anything, there's
limited skins.
There are limited skins that are worth money. And so
Mhm.
there's a secondhand market for people who are selling those accounts with those skins for big money. And they've
Mhm.
bought those accounts with big money to sell for big money. And now I'm assuming the reason why they're doing this is to stop that because, yeah, that is kind of a shady business.
Well, selling accounts is a bannable offense. So
In almost every game.
your secondhand market for digital skins is collapsing. Oh, let me just.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they made this choice.
Oh,
But now there are some
poor-
people,
poor scalpers.
the poor
Oh.
scalpers.
Cry some more. It's like the secondhand market for Magic cards.
Yes.
People, they don't reprint cards. It's like, oh, we care about our secondary market. Why?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Hey, I want the cool Pokemon card, not because it's expensive, because it's a cool Pokemon card.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. With Magic especially, fuck that whole secondary market. I've heard the horror stories of it.
Yeah.
If I started playing Magic again and someone came to me with a deck full of proxies,
Who cares?
I'm playing against that guy. I don't care.
My only thing is like, are they like good proxies?
Did you print off a piece of paper and tape it onto a basic land? That's kind of bad.
Or did you go to like mtgproxies.net or whatever that site is and get, oh, this is my pirate tribal deck, but all the art for it is One Piece.
That's
Let's
a cool
play.
proxy.
Like, I don't have any issue with that.
No, I also don't have any issue with that. The Magic community, or the Magic market specifically, is just all sorts of fucked when it comes to their pricing for older cards, even from sets that are like 3 years old.
Yeah, let me look up a little card.
I'm wondering what card he's pulling up.
I'm looking up a card called Dockside Extortionist. Came out in 2019. It is a colorless in a red, a 1/2 Goblin Pirate.
Okay.
This card, a lightly played version, not a mint, lightly played, $84. This card has only been printed in a pre-con. And they won't reprint it because they don't want to affect the secondary market. I have a play set of Dockside. I have 4 of them. But I
That doesn't make that's so bananas to me.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
or let's see what a Savannah is worth. This card, because it's not reprintable, the cheapest one I can find for it, for a 3rd edition version, is $179. It is a land that taps for either green or white.
That's it?
That's it.
It doesn't let you win the game?
Nope. It is a basic land.
You know what? I'm going to go into a bit of a story here. I want you to look up a Magic card called Sword of Feast and Famine.
I am familiar.
Let me know what the price on that is.
Sort of Feast and Famine is $35.
Okay, not bad. So, bit of a story here. When I was first getting into Magic, my best friend in high school, we'll call him Jimmy Joe. Jimmy Joe wanted to get me into Magic, so he's like, "Hey, let me buy you this fat pack." And so he bought me a fat pack. And I was like, "Okay, well, how does this work? Like, can I make a deck out of this?" Yeah, you can probably make a deck out of this. Okay. So, I'm opening up these packs and everything, and I'm trying to understand, like, the levels of rarity. I found out that what mythics are. Mythics were, like, the highest rarity. I'm like, okay, I got a couple of mythics. And he's like, oh, let me take a look. And I'm handing him the, like, stack of 3 out of however many packs. I don't remember.
Yeah.
One of which was Sword and Feast and Famine.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, man, that card sucks. Honestly, let me just take that card off your hands. I have a really specific deck that could use it. And I mean, whatever you're going to want to build, because I was trying to build like a black deck because I was all into zombies back then.
Yep.
Hey, yo! Thank you for the biddies, big dog.
This guy.
Big fan.
What a king.
What a king. Thank you for the biddies. God damn, he bidded all of it. But he was like, yeah, no, this card is for a very specific deck that I could use. You're not going to use it. Let me just take it off your hands. Okay. Back then, because I was a dumb 10th grader, but I still knew to look up prices. I checked a couple of days later. That card, the Sword and Feast and Famine, was like $140. And he gypped me out of $140 because I didn't know what I was doing.
Maybe I edit that out in post.
Oh, I don't care about that guy.
No, I'm saying you said a slur.
What did I say? Oh, no. I genuinely don't know.
Hang on.
Oh, yep. I got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I edit that out. I'm not repeating it. Nice try. Nice try, Milk.
I almost got you. No, I genuinely forget. My father used that word a lot, and as much as it's ingrained in my memory, sometimes it slips out.
But yeah, secondary markets for cards are weird.
It's really weird.
But like if you look at secondary markets for like miniatures, typically people are selling stuff for 60% of what box price is.
Huh. That's not bad.
Doesn't matter how well it's painted or anything.
It's always 60%.
Yep. Typically 60% is the going rate.
I think that keeping it at a level like that, where it's like, here's a baseline for pricing. If it's out of the box, opened, even if it's painted or not painted, it's not painted the way you want, we're just going to sell it to you for 60%.
Unless you're like, oh, I got this painted from let's say you got painted from Frontline Studios, then you're probably making some money on it. But or if you're like, I'm a painter at Frontline Studios, selling this army that buyer backed out of, then maybe you're making some money.
Yeah. If you get it professionally painted, then yeah.
And my stuff looks good, but I'm only ever getting 60%. It's like an unwritten rule in the mini community.
Yeah. And as someone who doesn't necessarily buy, so again, I haven't gotten into Age of Sigmar yet. A lot of those are, you buy the kits, you build them yourself. I 3D print a lot of these. It would be real scummy of me to print something, paint it shitty, and then sell it because I spent 50 cents on the resin.
Yeah.
And I sell it for $20 painted. That'd be pretty scummy.
Well, there's a lot of proxies, especially because you're going to be playing with the Skaven faction. There's a lot of really good proxies for a creature called the Hell Pit Abomination.
Okay.
That people wouldn't even question spending $20 on that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
It's kind of a crappy model, but there's a lot of really good proxies of it.
Hey, sometimes that's all you need, just to be able to have access to it.
Yep.
Also, someone in the chat just brought up the fact that they had a Yu-Gi-Oh card that was worth $200 when they were little and had no idea. Man, let me tell you about my old Pokemon collection as a kid that grew up in the 90s who was there for the boom and was in it at the boom. Oh my God, I was such a dumb fucking kid. I was walking around with a deck in my pocket with a rubber band wrapped around it with a holofoil Charizard on top. Getting rubbed with the rubber band.
I had... trying to see what it's worth now. I had a first edition fossil Hollow Dragonite.
Oh, that is the most expensive card in that set.
I still have it. But it is not worth anything because it went through the washing machine.
Oh, that's the worst.
Because I was a dumb kid and I just put it in my pocket.
I will say, I was a smart little kid in one aspect and one aspect alone. My parents were broke, so they got a lot of stuff off eBay. And Taylor, me, everyone knows my name, it doesn't matter. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Pokemon promos. I thought that the Black Star promos were the coolest cards. And so if I couldn't go to said event to get the promo, I would tell my mom about it and she would get it for me off of eBay. So I had like a lot of the really expensive Black Star promos when I was a kid, just because back then I thought that those were the ones I wanted to collect because they were so cool and special. And yeah, most of those promos are like thousands of dollars. Don't know where they're at. No clue.
I have a lot of like my first edition base set cards just in a box at my parents' house.
Honestly, I think that's the best place for them. I actually, a couple of years ago, I actually did probably the most Giga Chad move I've ever done. So I was just starting to get back into Pokemon, opening packs and collecting and all that. And I remember that I had a bunch of my old cards back at home, at my parents' place. And so I picked up the crate of old cards, and like these are like base set 2, Fossil, Jungle. Well, a buddy of mine, his sister was getting married, and I was playing games with them. My wife was also playing. We were playing a lot of Dead by Daylight at the time, and I wanted to do something nice because his sister would always play games with us and was like the nicest person. She had kids, and she had some kids, and the kids were, I was cool Uncle Taylor. And so basically I took that stack. They were just starting to get into Pokemon. I took that crate, and at their wedding, I set it in front of the kids. I'm like, here you go. You guys are going to have a lot more fun with this than I will. and they're going through and they're like, oh, look at this cool Squirtle card. And like, sure, those cards are worth money, but that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot to our friend. And, seeing her kids get really excited, that meant more to me than trying to sell common singles online, so that is the most selfless Giga Chad thing I've ever done. Was I gave all of my old cards to a couple of kids.
I really, there's a set that they released, that the actual Pokemon Company released. It comes in a big old box.
Yes,
And it has.
we have to get it. We
I
have to
want.
get it.
I want to so bad, but I can't justify it.
We split it halfway, and I can borrow it for half the week. You can borrow it for half.
We're not sharing Pokemon cards.
We have joint custody, because I'm assuming you're talking about the Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic.
Yes.
The big box.
It's got 3 decks.
Yep.
I've thought about. I have the cards. I thought about making the classic uppercut deck.
Oh my god, with the one with the Hitmonchan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Hitmonchan, Kangaskhan, someone else.
Chansey? No.
It might be.
I remember
Clefairy.
that one. I remember
Clefairy.
Oh, yeah, Clefairy, Chansey, no, Clefairy, Kangaskhan, and Hitmonchan. There was another deck that came out. I think that was like the Zap deck with like Electabuzz. I think it had Electabuzz and Wartortle on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
But like those old school structure decks were so cool.
Yeah. And they used to come with like little like amber colored marbles for like damage counters.
Like real marbles, like genuine. Now you get plastic.
You don't get plastic; they're cardboard. I had one
they're
around here
cardboard.
somewhere.
That's
but-
when collecting was fun. Let me tell you.
As a group, we really like silly little employee games.
Mm-hmm.
And Lethal Company has an update.
Oh
coming.
yeah.
And in the update, there's like an eyeless dog, and it's like sniffing around. All of a sudden, it gets hit by a van.
They
Getting a
added
company-
cars
We're getting a company van. Now we can drive for family.
for family. So I want to know how it actually all works, because like, does it work like the mods with like the shopping cart, where it's like you can stuff all your stuff into the car, and then run that back to the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like for people that like know all of the maps, know exactly where the fire escapes are, know exactly where the main entrance is. Like, let me tell you, we're both big fans of Rend. That trek sucks.
Yeah.
Even if it's a
It's
straight
super
line,
bad.
it sucks.
And I wonder how the monsters are going to interact with it.
Yeah, right? Are you able to hit monsters? Like, genuinely. They showed in the trailer. I'm assuming we can. Does that
At
work?
least the eyeless dogs.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I'm
the
just,
little baboon hawks.
I'm just
I hate
imagining
those
running into mimics.
A giant. Oh,
He picks up the car and eats it.
probably.
No, I think that's cool. I'm glad that Lethal Company is still adding stuff. There are a lot of people that could have just took the money and run.
Yeah.
But no, Zeker's doing great.
You know who else really announced an update? I think it was either today or yesterday. Among Us.
Oh, wow.
You know that game that no one's played since 2020?
Wow, Among Us. Imposter vented.
They added a bunch of like, now you get like an assignment instead of you just have to do jobs.
So you load in with the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's like you still get like imposter, crewmate, etc. And you still have to do tasks. But like now you're like, oh, you got the tracker. So now where the imposter would have the assassinate button. You can place a tracker on someone and track where they go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but that game had the world by the balls.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do anything with it until it was dead, and no one gave a shit.
But don't forget, they're releasing a Among Us show.
Yippee skippy.
An animated television show in 2024.
I don't care.
I know. It's just so funny. Like, I know it takes time to do this. I get it.
Yeah.
It does. But man, you should be like, okay, this is taking too long. No one cares anymore. Let's just cut our losses. Keep what money we can.
No kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
we brought up that Verbal Ace video and didn't even watch it. Should we do
No,
that?
we should watch it. We're gonna close out the podcast by watching this fucking Verbal Ace video.
Oh my god, we're already at.
We're at time already.
We're at time. Well, let me just go over a little bit.
Get this out of here.
Hey babe,
What's this?
can you mod?
Execute.
Execute. I'm gonna finish this out. I've also been playing a little bit of Multiverses. It came back out. The game is not dead. The game, you get your stuff. Don't worry, the game didn't die. It was just in beta. But Multiverses came out with its actual season. It's got stuff like Agent Smith and Jason Voorhees in the game. Multiverses, it's pretty fun. It's okay. It's in a much better spot now than it was back then, but I will say this. The most important aspect of this is the fact that they did add Jason Voorhees to the game. And anyone who's played Dead by Daylight knows the hellscape that Jason Voorhees has been locked into for the last 10 years, where two people owned the rights to that franchise and they hate the fuck out of each other. So they were constantly in court suing each other. So Jason couldn't be in anything. They basically had to put a standstill to that franchise. But now
it's like Spider-Man was for a while.
Yes, exactly. But now, with Jason being in Multiverses, that's basically the court settled. They're willing to put him into games, which means next killer in Dead by Daylight, Jason Voorhees. Finally.
Yeah, and I never thought in a million years we'd have Vecna in Dead by Daylight before.
Yeah.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Oh, someone in the chat said Harley Quinn's best. Excuse me. My LeBron James is pretty good. I can beat the shit out of you with my LeBron
Stripe
James.
is right there.
Stripe is also very fun. I started playing him recently. Yeah, he's real fun. But yeah, no. So Verbal Ace video. Verbal Ace did it again. The guy did not learn his lesson.
I'm willing to bet he did it to not pay editors again.
Probably. All right, I'm going to switch us over to content mode, and it's already set up. Thank God. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit play. 3,
On God.
2, 1.
Hey, Verbal, give me a beat.
Oh.
Hey, eyes are up here, Ace.
No, it's
He wants to
not
get
that.
pegged by the wolf.
It's that you're very terrifying.
You're very hot.
Nothing.
So, you gonna give me a beat, or am I going to have to force it out of you?
No, please. I got it.
Asks for a beat, makes it herself.
My name is Roxanne Wolf, but you can call me Roxy. No one here will miss that pirate, cause I'm foxier than Foxy. Ever hear a guitar played like this? No, cause I'm the best. Got a figure like an hourglass, even with a shattered chest. I'm a wolf in wolf clothing, I'm a mix in shoulder pads. Yes, sometimes I'm nice, but most of the time I'm mad. I'm a terrifying android, I'm a blood-curdling bot. I'm a murdering guitarist with homicidal thoughts.
See, he just wants to fuck the wolf.
Why?
Now you're mine.
Why does he want to fuck the wolf so bad?
Even with your fatality, is anybody there? Are your last words spoken like an animatronic? Your bones will be broken. You can try and run, but I will find you. I'm not under the bed, cause I'm right behind you. I got you hypnotized when you're looking at my red eyes. The big bad wolf's in your hood, now you're gonna die.
Right? You.
Now you're mine.
This is so awful.
Why is she moving like that?
Because he wants to fuck her. That's why.
I know, but
You did well, Ace.
He wants her robo dick
Thank you.
in his butt.
You wanna get out of here?
Yes, I very much do.
I meant with me! Get back here!
oh, good. We get to see the real person do it. I feel dirty.
It's. Dude, stop. Just stop.
Why couldn't he have taken the hint?
Just pay your editors, man.
Just pay your editors. Pay them. They need the money. How did you get this? They all left you. Oh my god. It's so like he's making this for himself.
Yeah.
He is just full on gonna jack off to this. He has a type. He wants to get dominated. And he wants the world to know that. What a highlight to end the first episode of season 2 on.
What a treat.
The song wasn't even good. He didn't even do that. You know, where he's like doing the
No.
twisting. That was cool. Go back to that. I don't want to see you fuck the
dude.
robot.
But Plague, we did it. Season 2, episode 1.
Season 2, episode
Everyone-
1.
Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it more than you guys will ever know. We'll post an update. We're gonna keep live streaming it, but we're probably gonna be on a actual Dungeon Fights and Anime Fights channel
Yep.
instead of just Plague's channel.
Yep. This was kind of spur of the moment. Hey, we gotta probably record the podcast.
Yeah.
Also, oh wow, I just doxed the hell out of you. Sorry about that. Oops, that was Twitch
Unbelievable.
chat. Not you, our Twitch chat.
Oh.
Unbelievable. It's the picture of my house. But yeah, no. It's good to be back. It's good to actually sit and like kind of just talk again to like not only Justy, but just about the things that we're doing to you guys and everything. I missed it. We're so close to the finish line. As soon as we're completely settled into the house, I can go back to doing things I enjoy.
And it might even be a case of the podcast might just happen at Plague's place.
It'd be really cool to have it set up that way.
We'll have to see.
We'll see what happens.
It
But
might get set up at my place. Who knows?
Who knows? Honestly, I'm okay with either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for me, big dog.
Right on. Absolutely.
Bye!